Sequoia, and I'm actually super excited about the topic we are going to talk about today. But before we get started, I just thought I would share with you guys a couple wins that I actually had this week. So my first win, and as you can see in the topic, I'm sharing with you guys tips on doing Facebook Lives and overcoming those fears. So one of my wins this week is the ability this week I actually did 3 weeks of consistent Facebook Lives 5 days a week. So honestly, that's a win for me. And I'm just creating that habit of just jumping on here no matter what. And so I did 3 weeks so far. I'm super excited about that. And I thought this would be a good topic for us to go over with because I've struggled with it so long on just jumping on here and just talking to people because of the fear. Before, I've done videos before, but honestly, they were recorded. And, I would do a couple of them, but never did a live just because, you're the fear of messing up, the fear of what is people going to think about me. So I think it's something very important that we learn because going live, honestly, could possibly help you build your brand, which is something, my current focus is to build my brand and build my audience. And so a way to do that for me personally is going live and just being myself and just providing value. So that's just kind of my focuses of what I'm currently doing. And then also with going live, what I can do is actually I've been able to download all these files and actually put them on YouTube for content that I can use later. As I build my brand. And yes, I'm only focused on one social media platform at this moment, but why not use that content and place it on YouTube and place it wherever else that I possibly have a social media following at. And you guys, might have heard that, going live could possibly help you build your business. And just people seeing your face and actually seeing that you're a real person is super important. And then also with you going live is going to build that trust of people actually liking you, who you are. So we are about to, kind of go over with you guys what is, the tips that kind of helped me overcome the fear. My focus of going currently Facebook Live is over Facebook, but there is different locations that you guys can go do Facebook Live at. Many of the platforms are YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. These are locations, and also, of course, YouTube. These are locations that you guys could do lives depending on where is it that you want to build your platform at or your audience. And as I said, my current focuses are on YouTube, and honestly, that's just because that's kind of what I know. I grew up with Facebook, and so Facebook is where I've decided to, focus, put my focuses on, but I'm sure that will change as I develop and become an influencer. And so, and honestly, the truth is, the only way that you are honestly going to overcome the fear is just go out there and do it and just practice. And it's just like anything that you do. It takes time to become better, but as we practice, you're going to get better. It's just like teaching your kids how to ride a bike or the first time that you rode a bike. I'm sure you fell a few times, but that's okay. We got right back up and did it. So my first tip that I'm going to go over with you guys is, it's very important as you go live is to write down your main points you want to go over. And with this, you do not want to write it word by word. And honestly, I've done that before, and I just sounded like a robot. Yes, I might, this is something that I kind of have to improve on because I do have my phone with my notes. And looking down at it and making sure that I hit all points. So that is something that I am going to work on is, making sure that I keep my attention on you guys. And as I'm talking to you guys, it's super important that I'm, looking at the camera and not looking away because it does look like I'm distracted, which I'm not. I'm just making sure that I'm covering all the points that I wanted to go over with you guys. So that is something that I'm personally going to work on is, making sure that, yes, I need to make sure I cover all my points, but at the same time, I need to pay attention to my audience, the people that are currently watching my videos. And then also, as I said, don't write it out word by word because it does sound like a robot. And people are going to be connected with you for who you are. So there's no reason for you to write it down word by word. Just, points, just kind of like, you hit bullet points of topics that you want to go over with. And this honestly can help you be relaxed and know exactly what is it that you want to cover so you feel prepared. So it's super important. There's been times where I'm going to wing it, and then I don't feel like I'm prepared. I'm just kind of talking, not really making sense. So I do think it's very important to be prepared of the content that you want to talk about. And then also when you get scared or nervous, if you don't have it written down, you could possibly forget or be nervous of what is it that you were trying to say. And then so tip number 2 is focus on your audience and not on yourself. So all that truly means is, like trying to figure out, does my hair look okay? Does my voice sound okay? The most important person is my audience and the people I'm talking to. And, it's very important that I'm providing value. And a lot of times people really do not care, what is it that your hair looks like, or, how is it that you sound. Like, the most important thing is the content and what is it that you're providing, the value. So that is the most important thing. So stop focusing on what people might think about you and start focusing on the people that you're talking to. And this could help you grow your audience as well. Tip number 3 is something that you could do is to practice what you're going to say. And you can actually do this, and this could actually help you, practice and make you feel more comfortable. And if you find yourself getting hung up on not feeling prepared, then, practicing in the mirror, you could do that. You could also, record yourself, and you could actually do a private broadcast. And to do so, you just go to, hit Facebook Live and update the status to only me. That way, the only person that's going to see the live is yourself. And that way you can watch your video and see exactly how is it that it appears on Facebook. And then once you actually like it and approve it, then you can go ahead and press public. That way more people can see it than just you. And it is important that you are doing lives because when you just upload a video, it does not get as much views as if you were on live. So I think that is very important. So tip number 4. Tip number 4 is to make sure your phone is charged, or your laptop or whatever device you're using. Make sure it's charged. And then also make sure you have quality of Wi-Fi, or possibly a hard when it comes to internet. Just making sure that you have a great connection. That way you don't have any types of distractions. I know I've had it before where I'm doing a live and my phone's frozen, and I'm like, okay, I don't know if it's working or not, but I'm just gonna keep talking. And luckily, I was just frozen on my side, and you guys could actually see what was going on. But it helps to not have any types of distractions when you're speaking. And then also, tip number 5 is remember yourself. When you're speaking to yourself, speak very positive. And honestly, no one really cares what is it that they don't really pay attention to like the small things. People aren't sitting there looking like, oh my gosh, she made a mistake there. People really don't know what is it that you're planning on saying. So if you make a mistake, it's not that big of a deal. And don't be so hard on yourself. It's very important. And also your audience is more concerned about what is it that you're trying to say with your content than the little things. So it's very important just to get the word out there. Just say what you got to say. Be yourself, and don't pay attention to, what are people going to think about me? Because honestly, the people that think negative, they are not your audience in a ways. Because a lot of people, when it comes to your audience, the people who are going to relate to you are people like you. So it's super important for you to just be yourself, and your audience of the people that you're trying to attract are most likely people just like you. And then so tip number 6 is, you are going to mess up, but embrace it. We're all going to make mistakes, But the only way that we're going to become better is to make those mistakes and learn from them. And that's with anything we do in life. I feel like anything I've ever done, I've had to learn and become better. So just like with Facebook Lives, you have to do the same thing. You have to, work on it. And of course, every time you do it, you're going to become better. You're going to, decide, okay, this is how I want to do things and this is how I don't want to do things. So just do it. Just, embrace the mess. If you mess up or say something, a word that you didn't mean to say, keep going. The truth is, they probably didn't even realize that you said that anyways. And then also, as I said, as you do more lives, you're going to become better. You're going to feel more comfortable, and you're going to develop your natural skills. And you'll become a professional at doing lives. And honestly, the only way to become better is to do more, get out there, and just do it. And honestly, that's all I really have to say today. I hope you guys have an amazing Friday. I'm super excited for Friday. Today is kind of rainy out here in Vegas. But we're going to have a beautiful weekend, and you guys have an amazing day. Thank you.